It's the weirdest feeling once you like come to, because obviously you're sitting in the truck so long or in the car, whatever. You're going through this road, and I was like, man, like God forbid I get a flat. God forbid my engine blows. What the? And there's no signal like at
nothing.
all. So whatever you have is whatever you have.
We went through a point where it was like almost 2 hours of just no signal.
Nothing, bro. Nothing. I was blown away. I was like, man, bro, you already know what it is. You know what I mean? Fight to the death.
Yeah, man.
But you know.
But we got into Vegas last night, and we got a complimentary room because we're players at a certain hotel out there.
Come on,
and
man.
we got a free room, so that was fucking lovely.
Can you tell we go to Vegas a lot, bro? Hey,
Yeah,
man, that's one of my most
We've
favorite
been to Vegas
places.
a few times.
That's one of my most favorite places to go work, man. You know, on top of, you know, having work and making a little bit of money, you know, getting a little tip.
Sure.
You know, especially if we get that tip in Vegas, you already know that's going on the roulette, boy.
Yeah, man.
You
Yeah,
know what I
man.
mean?
It was a good trip, but overall, we made it. We literally just got back today. Like 3-4 hours ago.
Yeah.
And we were committed, man. As soon as we got here, we started working on the pod, making sure the schedules were up. And I apologize even this time around because, you know, normally I try to at least have, you know, posts up on our socials. I try to at least have the live ready to go on YouTube. But, man, we're so
gone.
busy. You know, it's hard to, like, do everything while you're on the go. And then you're, like, crunched for time because we have ELDs in our trucks. It's a lot going on.
I just
people,
want to say
know?
that just shows how committed we are to. I mean, at least if we entertain 4 or 5 people, you know what I mean? Like I said, that's a win for us. And
we're committed to this shit just as much as our job.
Exactly. So, you know, that's just a little something that we, again, you know, we had to do what we had to do. And obviously, and I'm just going to tell you right off the jump, Chris is a tech guy here.
Hey,
so
you know, it's a learning process still. I'm still learning some shit. I was even supposed to do
it's a marathon, not a race, okay?
I was even, you know, I like that. I like that. I see what you did there.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, man. You know, you know, it's. I'm still learning. I'm still trying to figure some of this shit out. You know, even like the last episode, we got a copyright, even though I think I did everything we needed to do. But we're learning. Again, we're trying to figure shit out as we go and make sure that you guys have really good quality streams that we do. Like we really want to make sure that you guys see that we're putting our hearts into this shit, man. Like we're really trying for you guys. So that's why we really appreciate when you guys do like and share it up. And like if you guys in here live right now, make sure you hit the like button, man. Like it really does help the algorithm. It helps this video get out to more people, and that's just what we're trying to do. We're trying to share this as much as we can, our knowledge. And
come on, man, you guys watch memes all day. Come on,
all day. If you like a meme,
are solid, man.
If you're doing this through your phone, hit the fucking like button for us, people. Like, it helps. It really does help. So, anyways, we won't blab on too much about work and, you know, all the pod stuff. You know, we want to get right into the topic of today's, you know, live stream. And obviously, as you guys seen, it's the dark side of dating. So, we all know that dating is good and it's fun. But we also have the moments in life where it's not so fun, where it gets dark, where things can be a little rough. So, I know I'm gonna shoot it over to you right off the bat. Let you get into your first.
You know, let's just get into it, man.
Let's get into that first story, man.
And I won't make no excuses. You know, take accountability. You have to. So, in my younger years, teens.
Wait, you're young? You were young?
You know, at some point we were all young. You know, we're not all born looking like we're 15 when you're like 7. You know what I mean?
I'm getting gray hair.
I think you had a beard when you were like 8.
I think I was born with a beard.
Exactly. I've never seen this guy without a beard, to be honest. Anyways, you know, the point is younger years, teen years.
All right.
You know, I'm just doing my thing. You know, I'm living at home. I'm going to work. I'm going to school. You know, I'm just your average, whatever guy in LA, man. You know what I mean? Trying to just make my, you know, do my thing and, you know, whatever. You know, I was, like I said, I was going to school at the time, working. And, so, you know, I got into talking to this girl. We obviously knew each other from high school. And, you know, so we start talking, texting, you know, the whole normal thing. Like, and at the time, I'm going to be real, like, I wasn't, like, financially stable enough to, like, take her every week out. You know, if I had to put a number on it, I probably I took her out maybe, you know, 2 times a month. You know, because obviously I'm doing my thing.
You said you were living with your mom, right?
Yeah, I was living with my mom, and she was living with her parents as well.
Okay, so very young then.
Yeah, we were young. And, you know, obviously I'm young. I'm doing my thing. I used to chill with you guys, chill with the homies. Right. You know, we used to do our thing, you know.
So you're kicking it with her when you could.
Exactly. Gotcha. You know, again, but I was giving her the time when we were text. You know, if at the time we couldn't really talk too much on the phone because, you know, I at the time, well, I had my own thing going with my plan. This is back in the phone deals or whatever. I had my own deal going on, and she had minutes. The point where she had to buy a card, you know, minutes in a card and or whatnot. So the point is, that's how we communicated. You know, it was mostly through that. And when I obviously invite her out, we would go out, we'd hang out. You know, she was a nice girl. You know, she was showing all the right signs. You know, pretty much in my head, you know, she likes me. Right. You know what I mean?
But she's obviously going out with you.
Yeah, already. Yeah. I mean,
she's accepting the date.
Definitely. Okay. It was obviously a mutual attraction there to a certain extent.
Right.
Gotcha. But
following so far.
Yeah, definitely. And so the point is, we go out a few times, and it got to a point where, some of the situations with the dates were sometimes weird because obviously we're young, and she has sisters to be exact. And, you know, if I'd have to say 75% of the time, we would always be with her sisters. And, you know, that puts me in a little awkward position because now I have to entertain her and I got to entertain the sister. And
were you paying for them too?
I mean, like I said, I could only afford so much. So if we were planning to go do something nice, you already kind of like watered it down because I can't do what I wanted to do for us both.
My boy was taking out multiple girls at the same time.
Yeah, man. You know, it is what it is, man. You know, but the point is, you know, it was just, I didn't catch on to these things because, like I said, I like the girl. Yeah. You know, I'm accepting anything and everything that
you're doing whatever you have to do.
Exactly.
To make
sure
know, she sees you're with her.
Again, like if you like the girl, you're gonna obviously
do the most.
You know, right. Like we usually do. And the point is that this probably played out for, I want to say about a year.
Oh shit.
Yeah, man. Yeah, a year, man.
Okay.
I mean, now that I obviously, you know, when you obviously realize and like, damn, yeah, bro. Like, it took me a long time, you know. And
so let me get this straight. You dated her for a whole year. You guys weren't anything remotely like set in stone. You just dated for a year.
Well, if you're asking me if we ever got into it, never. You know, I never got the box. You know what I mean? Like we like I said, she was a good girl. She kept.
He already lost.
Exactly, man. But you know, you don't realize these things, man. Like as a guy, you're not thinking what you're thinking with the wrong head.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? If we're gonna be real, you know what I mean? That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
And that's how it was for me. And again, like you don't realize these things and. I guess, you know, it wasn't until I pretty much, you know, I always kept in contact with you. You know, you were always there. You know what I mean? You only got to the point where you left a certain time and
I wasn't around.
Yeah, I wasn't able to, like, I mean, obviously.
But we didn't chat. There was a point in time where me and Lou weren't, like, always chatting every day like we were, you know, but I would always check up on him, you know, make sure straight.
Yeah, definitely. Because, I mean, I even knew that he was engaged to a girl and everything. You know, I know
we'll get into that.
We'll get into that, whatever. The point is that once that's really started, you know, pretty much I found that person where, you know, because Chris always had some stories for me. You know what I mean? Always had some wild stories. Mostly all the time when, you know, it was always, we'd always like, you know, bullshit back and forth. Like, damn, Lulu, you can't even imagine what just happened. You know, that type, the guy shit, man. You know what I mean? Like, and that's how Chris has always been. You know what I mean? He never came at me with negative energy. Never came at me with like, you know, oh, like, you know, forget you. You know, you ain't about nothing. You know what I mean? Like, and most guys won't like tell that to the guy that you know, they'll just stop fucking with him. You know what I mean? Like, whatever, man. And I get it. You know, I'm a guy too. Like, if you really ain't about shit, I'm not gonna be around you.
We're living our own lives, man.
Exactly, man. But the point is, you know, I always kept the G with Chris. And the point is that, you know, it got to the point where I finally, you know, started opening up a bit more. And, you know, just, you know, like I said, we're guys bullshitting, telling each other stories.
You told me a bit about this story, and I kind of gave you my 2 cents on this story.
Yeah, but it got to a point where you yourself, you know, pretty much opened my eyes to these certain like things that I should have looked out for, that were obvious, that I should have picked up on.
Yep.
And just stuff like that where, like I said, man, I didn't realize it at the time, man, but he's like, yeah, man, don't you realize? And he broke it down. And both perspectives, like I said, he's not really like, oh, like, yeah, these females will do this. No, he's like, well, this is where you messed up. This is where she messed up. Boom. And I'm like, damn, like, you're right. You know what I mean? Like, I again, you learn from these situations. And I learned, you know, now that it was just,
So not to cut you off, but I'm very curious. So with her, you said you dated her for a year. Did you ultimately end up getting with her, or like?
Oh no! So, yeah, I'm sorry. I should have maybe ended up with
you left me in suspense.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I should have ended the story correctly. But look, the point is that maybe after about a year, I finally worked up the courage to make it official and be like, you know what? Like, obviously, you dig me. And this is all in my mind.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you like me. You know, I'm doing all.
You're going out on dates.
We're going out on dates. You know.
You did say you said you had some type of intimacy with her, right?
Yeah, definitely. The regular, like, dating wise, like kissing, holding hands,
right?
You know, stuff like that. But I never disrespected her because, again, I'm
right. You guys are young.
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't never like, again, I'm not the pushy guy. I'm not the most. I wasn't the most confident. I could admit that at the time. You know, but yeah, it was about a year, so I finally worked up the courage, you know, and it was funny because the whole way I did it, you know, again, the only times I was really talking to her, like, consistently was through text, you know what I mean? Like, that was, like, it, like, we were texting, and whenever I did call her, it was mostly like, okay, well, I'm outside, you know what I mean? Like, oh,
it was more
like,
serious when you were calling.
Exactly, it was way more serious. Like, it was a reason for me to call, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So I right off jump, you know, I started off by saying, you know, I kind of wanted to talk to you, and yeah, man, you know, she was like, oh, well, you know, about what, and you know, I don't know, I got this weird vibe from her, and she immediately, it was so weird. She like, I forget what the excuse was, but she had to get off the phone, and she was like, just text me whatever you're gonna tell me. I was like, all right. So I pretty much asked her to be my girlfriend through text.
Damn.
You know what I mean? And man, like it was the nicest no I had ever gotten. You know what I mean? Like, that's why I'm not even gonna hate on her. You feel me? She pretty much said, you know what? Like,
so
I like you.
She shut you down through phone.
Yeah, definitely. She made it clear that she thought I was a nice guy. You know, we should be friends or whatever. You know, the whole usual, like. And again, I guess she was sparing my feelings to a certain extent. She wasn't blunt with it. She wasn't like bitchy about it.
But was she really? I mean,
hey, bro,
later,
like
she reaped the benefits of boyfriend material a whole year.
A whole year, yeah, man. For a year. Well, yeah, I mean, roughly, I mean, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, all right, let's just say, let's just put a year on it. Let's just put a year on it. You're saying roughly between 6 months to a year you guys dated. But
yeah,
the reality is, man, like, you take her out, you guys are, you know, holding hands, you guys are kissing, you obviously, you didn't get the box, but that's a whole different situation. We're not really dwelling on that situation. More so, it's just the fact that she reaped the benefits of having boyfriend energy from you for a whole year.
Yeah.
And you were taking out her sisters and stuff with her. So it's like, why have you do all this stuff for a whole year? Kiss her, hug her, call her, buy her minutes, this and that, just to turn you down at the end of it.
This is where you ladies need to come in and explain this to me to make me understand.
Do you think it's because you waited that long?
That would be my ultimate conclusion about it. Because, like I said, I never disrespected her, never treated her wrong, never let her down when she asked me to.
Interesting.
Again, I would never classify her as a gold digger at all because she never. Nowadays, a girl's gonna be like, "Oh, if you want my number, cash at me." Like, I ain't even lying to you. Like that. You know what I mean?
So true.
I'm just saying, you know, this is just some of the stories
I've had that happen to me.
That he's exactly that you've told me. You know, sometimes you don't want to believe it because you see it on the internet, but I'm like, what? Like, that's wild. There's no way. So it was never that time. It wasn't that type of time. So she never bluntly asked me for no money. You know what I mean? Nothing like that. You know, the most I ever did, like I said, was buy her little minute cards. It was nothing for me. I used to work. I had a job. You know what I mean? It was really not that. At the time, it wasn't outrageous what she was really asking me for.
I think the most outrageous part about this situation is that she allowed you to do this for a whole year. And then, and then when you ultimately decided you were confident enough to ask her to be your girl, then she was like, nah. And then to make it worse, she knew it was coming, so she told you she got to get off the phone.
That was the part.
And then had you text it to her.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a few things. This is why YG made the song "Toot It." Toot it and boot it.
Savage vato loco.
I mean, look, man. And this is why men become the way they are as they get older, man. Like, you know, you do these things when you're younger thinking you're doing the right thing. Taking her out, you know, taking the initiative to pay for the date, you know, holding her hand, whatever it was you're doing for her. And ultimately, when you finally decided, I think your biggest mistake in this situation was waiting as long as you did, because
Definitely.
ultimately you spent money for a year, you spent time for a year, you spent energy for a year, and then ultimately I think it could have played a part in the way she responded, because I feel like maybe within a couple months of you guys dating, if you guys are already going out, hanging out, seeing each other, holding hands, kissing, whatever, I think you're already at the boyfriend stage.
Can you just say it? Just say. I know you want to say it. Just say that I'm a simp. I was simping. Just say it. It's fine. This is a learning process, people.
Look, man, we are trying to actively help you guys not to simp over bitches, and we know that it's gonna happen.
If that's not simping, I don't know what it is.
Hey, you know what? It was her bad, Adri, and clearly we know why. But you know, in this situation, we understand that, like, you did your part. You know what I mean? And really, if she felt like you weren't gonna be anything, why'd she allow you to do this for so long? You know, I think that's where I'm like, that's where you gotta question her.
See, that's the thing. Like, I mean, I can't even hate on her. She had her own strategies. She knew how to play me. She knew what to say. She knew everything to keep me going along with this belief that maybe someday we can be serious enough to be a full-blown boyfriend, girlfriend, and all that. But again, like, I'm not thinking about this at the time. You know what I mean? Like I said, we're thinking with the wrong head all the time. And being young, doing my thing, and it's just you get blinded real easy.
See, another thing that I think about in this scenario is, like, if she knew right off jump, because I feel like women know right away, man. Like, they don't just go out on dates with people for so long if they don't feel something towards you. You know what I mean? So the fact that she waited this long just to say no is crazy to me. Like, because in all honesty, I'll be honest with you, if she allowed you to go out on those first 2 dates, she was already feeling you. So what happened within that course of 6 months to a year? You know what I mean? I don't know. Maybe I just feel like maybe she liked you to a certain extent, and she was like, go digger.
Hey,
she could have been.
Your ladies be the judge.
She could have been. She could have been hanging in there, thinking, she was about to get the most out of this situation. But yeah, man, I just feel like it's crazy because, again, most women know pretty much right off jump, like, whether or not she's gonna fuck with you, whether or not she's attracted to you, whether or not she's gonna give you any type of energy, because why would she even do all of this if she wasn't even remotely attracted to you? You know what I mean?
Hey, man, like I said, once I gave you that information, when I pretty much confide in you, and this was just us sharing stories. You know what I mean? Like, and again, I didn't even think about it or whatever because of the way my life is now. You know what I mean? But at the time, like, this was, like, again, another reason why I'm like, bro, you need to start a podcast, because you broke it down so easily and so, like, simple terms, where to the point where I'm like, wow, you're absolutely right. And you have such a good perspective in life, and you can read people so well, and see where they're.
I pay attention.
Yeah, to man, you pay attention, and most guys we're too stupid. You get what I'm saying? Like, we're pretty much dumb. Like,
I watch everything.
But at the point is that I'm just like I said, I was young. I did what I did, and that's my story. That's my experience.
Adri said she's judge and jury, but you forgot executioner. You gotta chop them bitches off.
Damn.
Yeah, man. Before we even go any further into the next story, which is gonna be my first one, I want you guys to drop ones in the chat if our audio sounds really good. If there's any type of echo, because we're doing this live. Sometimes it's hard. You saw the
camera.
Yeah, it's hard. She said that too. But yeah, give me ones in the chat, guys, if our audio sounds good. And because obviously we started off, the camera is already fucking doing some crazy shit. So we just want to make sure everything sounds good for you guys, and then we'll press on. So going into my first story, this one's not too crazy, but I think it's very interesting. All right, nice, good shit. Thank you, Wesitos. We appreciate that, man. Nice. Thank you, Adri. We just want to make sure everything's good, make sure audio quality is good, and we're not sitting here fucking up. You know what I mean?
It looks like a Illuminati. I'm retarded. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah. So my first story is about a girl. She was older than me. This was not super long ago. It was kind of when I was kind of fresh out of my relationship, or my divorce. I mean, within like I'd say maybe 5 months after my divorce. So I'm talking to this girl. She's roughly about 46 years old.
Damn.
And, I know, right? And mind you, I'm like 30, I think 3 at the time. You know, so she's a lot older than me, and clearly I know getting with the older women comes with its own set of circumstances, and we know that typically, just like they say, old in your ways, set in your days, or however it goes. At the end, Lou won. He absolutely did win, Adrian. You're right, because and I can absolutely attest
We'll get to that.
We'll get to that here in a second, but yeah. So this girl, you know, again, 46. She's beautiful. She doesn't really look her age, and you know, right when I start taking her out and going on dates, you know, obviously you start getting to know people. So you ask questions like, when was the last relationship you was in? How'd that go? Why'd you guys end? So ultimately she told me she was dating this cop and that he was married, and they started dating even though he was still married, and he was planning on divorcing his wife for her. And so we're dating, and he decided before her and I started doing a thing, he decided he wanted to stay with his wife. And basically, what do you know? Men staying with their wife. We said this already. Men don't typically leave, right? So anyways, he decided he's going to stay with his wife. And yeah, so she starts talking to me. We're dating. We're doing our thing. We get to the point where we've had enough dates. Now we're going out, trying to see each other as often as we can. And it just so happened we lived in different cities. So naturally, we try to see each other when we can. So I remember specifically one time we went out on a date to the mall. It was close to Christmas. She wanted to go get some stuff for her daughter. So I was like, well, let me go with you. And I haven't seen you in a couple weeks. It'd be really nice to see you. She's like, okay, sounds good. So we go to the mall. We're looking for her daughter's gift. We get her daughter's gift. And you know, she's like looking at her money. I'm like, you okay? She's like, yeah, you know, I'm just deciding whether or not I should do this because money's kind of tight. I was like, well, look, let me help you out. We're obviously seeing each other. Naturally, as a good guy, we're going to look out for you, you know. So I paid for her daughter's gift, and she was like super happy about that. So then we continue walking down the mall. Lo and behold, we end up in one of the guy's favorite places is Victoria's Secrets. And, you know, so
wow.
I mean, come on, man. It's no secret that we like this shit, all right? Victoria, whatever secret you thought you had, you fucking up. Because as men and women like it. Don't get that shit twisted. But so anyways, we're in Victoria's Secret. And she's like, oh, I really like this bra, but I really don't have the money. And I was like, well, look, get what you want. I got you. I'll take care of you. You know, like I'm trying to show you that, like, you know, we're in this to like be a thing, you know? She's like, no. I'm like, it's cool. I got you. So, and maybe that was my fault for insisting and like, you know, trying to win her over, so to speak. So she's like, okay. So she ended up getting a few bras, a few underwears, super happy. We ended up, you know, eating after that, and then we went our separate ways. Fast forward a couple weeks later, you know, it had been a little while since I seen her. I'm like, what's up? You know, like, let's go out on a date. So we ended up going to Old Spaghetti Factory, and I remember this date specifically because this is when I started realizing something was off. So we're at the date, we're talking, and she just seemed like not in it, you know what I mean? Like, she almost seemed like she was just doing it just to be there, just because, like, oh, you know, this guy's been, like, buying me stuff and, like, you know, giving me the energy that I want, this and that. So we're going through this date, and it just seemed off, man. Like, something just seemed weird to me. And, the date's over, so I'm thinking, you know, what we're gonna do now? Like, let's go back, let's go do a thing, let's have some fun. And she was like, oh, you know, I want to go home. I got some stuff I gotta do. I'm like, okay, all right, cool, I get it. So I reach in to go give her a hug and a kiss, and she was like very hesitant. And I'm like, she's not like this normally. Something seemed off about this situation, and I was like, all right, it was a little odd. So again, fast forward a week or so after this, I hadn't seen her again. So I'm hitting her up asking, hey, when am I going to see you? So she finally says, you know, I don't know when we can see each other. I'm really busy. I'm like, look, I'm just going to say this plainly to you. Something's been weird with you ever since we went on our last date. And I just can't help but notice it. So what's going on? She basically says, oh, you know, the cop that I was talking to, I ended up talking back to him and we're going to work it out. So this whole time, bro, like, It just goes to show it, because you know it didn't just happen within a certain time frame.
Yeah.
She's been talking to this guy. She's keeping her options. Yeah, she's keeping her options open. That's okay. But like the fact that you are gonna still accept gifts, still accept dates, you know, all these little things that you get out of me, but in all reality, you're just sitting here playing two guys, you know, playing a game. Yeah. And mind you, this guy had already dumped you once to stay with his wife, and now here you are again. And I was like, wow, bro, like the fact that I did all this stuff just to like, you know, try to be with you, and ultimately you're just fucking stringing me along, and I was doing all this extra shit for no reason. And then so we stopped talking. It's just so funny to think about, look back at it like,
yeah.
And then so that happened, and I think maybe like 3-4 months go by. Who the fuck do I hear from? Again.
God.
Hey, how you been? Been thinking about you. I'm like, aren't you with this guy still? Like, aren't you with, you know, oh, you know, we ended up deciding to call it off. I'm like, who called it off? You or him? She was like, well, he ultimately decided I want to stay with my wife. I'm like, so again, he dropped you, and now you want to come back to me. Bro, this is the shit that we talk about here.
You can't make this shit up.
Like, legit, like, the fact that you can just string us along like this, make us, like, do all these extra things just to be in something with you, and then it's just so easy.
And this is a full-blown woman, grown woman.
Grown, bro. Like, grown. Like, you would think this would more be like a thing coming out of me. And the fact that she's doing it, bro. Like, and it just goes to show these women are not innocent, man. Let's stop treating these women like you guys are innocent. Like, not all of y'all are innocent.
There's some crazies out there.
Y'all do some fucking dirt, all right?
There's some crazies.
It's not all the guys that are fucking assholes and dicks and dogs and whatever else you want to call us, toxic, this and that. Like, women, you ladies do the most too, okay? So the fact that, you know, I mean, hundreds of dollars and dates and stuff like later, like just for you to do it 2 times to me. And you know, the crazy part is like, I thought about doing it again. The only difference is this time I knew, Lou, I was not about to fucking sit here and be that fucking simp. So I said, all right, cool. Let's start hanging out again. Guess what I got? I got that pussy the second time around. And
look,
I hate to say it like that, but you're going to play me? I can play that game too. If you really feel like I wasn't good enough for you the first time around, then I'm going to show you that I can be just like you've been to me. Taking it for what you can get. And that's what I did. I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to get what I'm going to get. And lo and behold, that's what happens. And now we don't talk because she couldn't live up to the standards I had at that point anymore. She just kept saying, oh, yeah, you're this, you're that. You don't want to, you know, understand where I'm coming from. But in all reality, it's simply because the first time around, you fucked it off. And I wasn't about to let you do it to me the second time around. And, you know, that's just how it goes. So that's my story, guys. That's one of the small ones.
Yeah,
we got some more juicy ones coming up here in a second.
So you're done with that one. Look, it's funny that you bring up this situation with, you know, grown women, older women, Scooby, grannies. But, you know, again, we're pretty dumb when it comes down to the choices we make just because we want what we want. And that's just pussy. And I know we're stupid. And it's, you know, it's crazy because that's how men are, you know, but at the same time, you know, I won't make it a long one. You know, she pretty much the same situation. We met, started talking, you know, and we ended up chilling, you know, and it was funny because I was still simping. You know, it got to a point where I remember I hung out with you one time, and you're like, man, she's just waiting for you. She's, you know, whatever. So, you know, I did my move, and that's how it went. The point is that at first she started off, you know, doing the right thing. She was actually doing things that no, you know, girl has ever done for me. You know, like
such as elaborate like, a little bit.
You know, we met, you know, at work or whatever, and then she started giving me certain attention, giving me signals, and then she started hanging out a lot more often, willingly. It wasn't like me asking, like, hey, like, you know, hang out stuff, what do you know? So the point is that
seemed like she was really interested.
Yeah, she was really interested, you know, and I had never felt that, you know, ever in my life where I'm like, oh, okay, well, the point is that, you know, she kind of, in a way, I feel like she's kind of lured me into to the point where she knew that she can get her way with me.
Right.
And because I in all honesty, I never really took it that serious. I did find her attractive, you know, but at the time, I'm just doing my thing, you know, not really worried about what she's doing because she has, just like the situation, she has a kid, and I'm not really trying to get mixed into none of that really. So there was only one objective there, you know what I mean?
Right.
But you know, it's I used to always, I mean, not that I gave her money or nothing like that, never that, but give her my time, you know, texting her, making sure she was good, you know, whatever. And it was so crazy to me because it got to a point where, you know, again, I don't know what she was really into that much. I mean, you know, she had her issues. You know, she was pretty much a damaged woman. And
grown women always come with some type.
Yeah,
of
it was too
baggage.
much to handle. And like I said, it wasn't nothing like that for me. But at the same time, you know, I stuck around. You know, I did what I did, and it got to a point where it got so bad, so bad, bro, that I got in handcuffs because of this woman, bro. Like,
damn, she got you in cuffs,
yeah,
bro.
In cuffs, man. It was such a fucking crazy experience, and it took that much to be like, yeah, you should stop. And that's how stupid I was, bro. How dumb guys are that they don't see this, bro. Like, I don't know what she was into, bro, but I mean, let's just keep it short. It had to do with drugs, and you know, the only thing that saved me was God, man, because I ended up, you know, not going to jail or nothing like that. But the point is that put in that situation for pussy, bro, it ain't never worth it, man.
See, and ladies, this is what we want you ladies to understand is that men will go through a lot just to like be serious with you. And even if it's just trying to get the box, like we will go through a lot in order to like show you that we're down for you. And ultimately, you know, he was so down for this girl to the point where he almost got locked up over some shit he didn't even do. You know what I mean? And you got to make sure you state that clearly too. It wasn't your fault.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, we were good, man. Like she hit me up randomly saying that she just needed me to come with her. You know, I didn't think nothing of it. She had never put me in a situation like that ever, but
she needed you to back her up.
She needed me to back her up. And again, me being me, you know, I'm
a simp.
I'm a cool dude.
You were being a simp.
Yeah,
at the
I was
time.
being a simp. But you know, I went. You know, we got pulled over. They questioned us. They even searched the car. They didn't find nothing. It wasn't until they brought a canine out where, you know,
damn.
Yeah, bro, that canine found that shit, and it was wild, bro. Where she had it in a brush, and like a hairbrush, bro. Like it was wild. And they questioned me. I'm like, hey, man, I don't, you know, I just know this girl. I hang out with this girl. You know what I mean? But I don't really associate with it, and I don't got no criminal history, bro. You know what I mean? Keep in mind, I'm no goon. You get what I'm saying? So they didn't have nothing really on me, and she had a history prior, and you know it was easy for them. They were like, oh, the worst thing that happened, they just made me walk from wherever I was, boy. And this was at like 2-3 in the morning.
Damn.
Yeah, bro. They because they took her car, everything, bro. Shit was crazy,
bro. I see your emojis, AG. Look, man, you gotta understand these are things that us men we go through, and we, you know, we do the most in order to be a good man for you, and all the way down to backing you up, not even knowing the full situation, because obviously she wasn't like, oh, by the way, I'm going to do this and that. Come with me.
Yeah.
So the fact that you were oblivious is probably one of the reasons.
Yeah, I mean,
you didn't get locked
obvious,
up that
bro.
night,
Yeah,
but
definitely. I was like, you know what, man, never again.
But the fact that you got cuss put on you because of this girl.
Yeah, definitely.
And that just goes to show, ladies, like, again, ladies are out here absolutely doing the most, doing some crazy fucking shit. And you damn near get locked up for it, you know, just trying to be a good man. And, you know, it's the reason why we bring up these reasons how we feel about women and why we've gotten to the point where we are now, because, you know, we don't just feel like this towards women just for no fucking reason. You know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure all men go through their own experiences. And again, these are just some of the ones that we've gone through. And again, people need to realize that, you ladies have power. You know, you have so much power that you don't even really understand, because I mean, we're here to protect you. We're here to be here for you. And if you abuse that power, you could get us both hurt. You know what I mean? And that shit has consequences. And again, you don't realize these things at the time because you're using the wrong head. And yeah, man. Yeah, yes. But no, I hear you. Hell yeah. But the point is, yeah, I'm not proud of it. I'm just gonna be real open and honest with you guys. You know, this is just something that I went through literally, and I'm not even gonna really go too far into it. But again, this was dealing with and she was old, like she was like 35. I was like, oh damn. And
How old were you at the time?
Fuck, man,
Like
I probably was
super young?
like 20 years old, 19 years old.
Damn.
You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
Yeah, bro.
Getting this man, like, bro, and it just goes to show, like, ladies will latch on to whoever is giving them the attention. And if they see some kind of good quality in you, they'll fucking latch on and then get you mixed up into all the fucking wrong shit. And they know you'll stay in there because you probably were looking for something. And if I remember correctly, you told me for a long time you didn't initiate or make any moves to try to get the box.
Oh yeah, no,
it wasn't until I said something.
Yeah, because like I said, that was not my intention. Like obviously we would talk, she would tell me her stuff or whatever, and I'd hang out with her. You know, like again, she did some stuff that I never. She used to buy me certain stuff. In a way, it was like I felt like I was like a sugar baby or something to a certain extent. Yeah. But you know, I just never felt like I was like, nah, I'm not gonna do that to her. You know, she's doing her thing or whatever. But I'm a man at the end of the day, and you know, she was attractive to a certain extent, and you know, I pretty much did what I did, and that's what kept me in contact and kept me willing to go back.
Right.
You know what I mean? But at the time, like
not
I said,
ever knowing you're about to get locked up in handcuffs.
Not at all. Not at all.
Thank God they didn't take your ass to jail for some shit that you didn't.
I would have, man.
I think what helped is the fact that it was on her personal possession versus it
on
being
me.
In your, you know, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You know, and ladies, again, this is why we feel a certain way about some of these things, and you know, onto another story about how shit can really turn south for you, even when you're trying to do the best as a good man. So, my next story, this one is pretty juicy. So there's this girl I was dating. I knew her dad. Her dad was my boss at the time, and he needed to move. He was a mover too. He needed to move. And obviously I was his helper at the time. So he's like, hey, can you guys help me move from one house to another? You know, I'll pay you for the day, so and so. So I'm like, cool. So we move him from one house and we load up everything. We drive over to the next house. Well, little did I know one of his daughters was there. And she had basically was waiting for us to help us and whatnot. So we get there, we start unloading everything. I walk in the house and I see her, and right away, man, she right away I was like, damn, she is absolutely gorgeous, and I just had to say something. So, you know, I said hi. Didn't do too much at that point. I just felt like, you know, I was obviously still trying to be somewhat respectful because of the fact that she, you know, she has her dad right there, and that's also my boss. So I kept it respectful, but I just felt like there was a little something there. I seen her look at me a few times. I'm like, yeah, something's right here. So fast forward a couple of days later after the move, I hit her up on Facebook. We hit it off right away, and we started talking, started actually dating. So much so that things were going so good that we ended up being together. I ended up giving up my place to move in with her. She had 3 kids at the time. To move in with her, her brother, and her brother's best friend. We did it that way just because my place was only a 1-bedroom. They had a 3-bedroom. She has kids. You know, it's a lot of us in this one place, and it just made more sense for me to give up my place to go with her. So moved in. We got very serious into a relationship. I absolutely fell in love with this girl. And man, I look back at it as I'm saying it, bro, I'm like, damn, Chris, like, I was fucking simping. Like, and this is something we got to recognize when we are just doing too much for people who really don't deserve it. But, you know, at the time, things just seemed proper. Like, we seemed like we were on the right track. So we're dating. Now we're living together. We're boyfriend and girlfriend. I fell so much in love with this girl that I had to pop the question. So I ended up asking her to marry me. She agreed. Long story short is, so now we're engaged. And within this time we're engaged, I started seeing little red flags. One of them, and I spoke on this in one of the podcasts. I can't remember which one at the moment. Now that we're getting more into it and I'm having more lives, I'm starting to like lose track of which ones I said it in. But anyways, I started seeing some red flags about her. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, and this particular one was a guy that she worked with at this warehouse that she worked at, would like give her gifts and like little things, you know, at first. And she wasn't really telling me at first that it was from him. She was just like, "Oh, look what I got from work." Da 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 da. And I remember.
Did you talk about this last time?
I did. I kind of brought it up, but I didn't go fully into the story. Okay. So this is like the full story of that one.
Oh, okay.
So this guy gave her a gift at work, and it was a very particular gift. Like it was one of her favorite football teams. It was like a really nice mug that was signed, and I'm like, she brought it home. It was right before Christmas. She brought it home, and she's like, "Oh, like this one of the drivers from work gave me this," and I right away recognized this one of her favorite teams. It looks really expensive, and it was signed. I'm like, "Wait, who gave you this?" And she was like, "Oh, one of the drivers, the one that I always tell you likes to bring me coffee and this and that." I was like, "Interesting, okay." Right away, I was like, I think I need you to take it back. I'm like, he knows you're engaged, right? She's like, "Yeah, but it's nothing. It's not even that serious." I'm like, I almost said her name. When I'm not trying to out nobody, people. But she was like, "Oh, well, you know, he got it from me." I'm like, "Yeah, but like that shit is super disrespectful." What up, Ceci? Welcome in. We're happy you made it in. It is so nice to have people that we know who come in here and support you guys or support us guys. So thank you guys from the bottom of our heart, as always, to come in here and show us some love. So we appreciate that so much. So yeah, you know, I told her, I'm like, you need to take it back because for one, it's disrespectful to me that he's over here buying you gifts when you're with a whole ass person. You got a ring on your finger. And so she blew up about that situation. And I told her straight up, I was like, "Look, if you don't take it back to him, I'm throwing that shit in the trash. I'm breaking it. I'm sorry. I'm putting my foot down because I already felt some type of way with him buying you coffee and like always getting you something. Like he's obviously trying to like win you over or court you some way." So that was one thing that we were dealing with. And then another thing was the guy that was living with us, her brother's best friend that was living in the same house with us. She would always wear his shirts. And I told her one time, I'm like, "Look, I got no problem with the guy. But the way he's been since the day I met him, I can tell he likes you. And he's trying to like, you know, get to a certain point with you. You might not see it because you call him your friend and I see him as a brother or not, whatnot. But he doesn't see it that way. I can tell you as a man, he does not see it that way." And she got upset about that. Long story short is we got over that situation. And then fast forward a few months later, we're sitting in the living room watching TV. And the guy comes out. He's like, "Have you seen my shirt?" He asked her, "Have you seen my shirt?" And she was like, "Oh, yeah, it's in my laundry basket in the room." And I looked at her right away, and she knew I was upset about it. Right away, I was like, "Didn't we have this conversation already? Like, why are you wearing his shirts? Like, if you want to wear a man's shirt, go wear my shirt. Don't go wear another man's shirt. Like, you guys might, we need, damn." So I'm like, you know.
That shit is serious out here.
Man, legit, man. So I'm like, you already know how I feel about you wearing another man's shirt. It's not even so much the fact that you're wearing a shirt. It's just the idea behind it. Like, it's disrespectful. Like, if you want to wear another man's shirt, wear my shirt. Or wear a man's shirt, wear my shirt. So we got into it that day about it. Next day I had to go to work. I went to work. Like, she's like, and so I'm at work. I get a call from her dad, and he was like, "Hey Chris, can you come see me after work? You know, I need to talk to you about something." I'm like, "Yeah, no problem." So I show up. He's already in the garage, and he's like, "So, you know, her and I were talking, and she really loves you, and she wants you guys to stay together, but she wants you guys to only date through the church from now on. So the only times you guys can see each other is dating through the church." I'm like, "Wait, but we live together." And he was like, "Well, yeah, that's the next thing. She wanted me to tell you that she wants you to move out." Mind you, actually it was Friday, not Saturday. Mind you, it was Friday. And he was like, "She wants you to be out by Sunday." I'm like, "Bro, it's at the end of the day. End of the day on a Friday, and you want me to move out by Sunday." And then to make this whole situation even crazier, at the time, I didn't have a social. She knew my situation when it came to like having to get an apartment and you know, like the credit check, all that stuff is not
Bro,
that
she
simple.
didn't care.
Yeah, it's not that simple for a guy who's not born here to just up and get another place. Like it's easy. So I looked at him. I'm like, you serious? Like she wants me to move out? He was like, yeah, by Sunday. I'm like, you do realize it's Friday night? He's like, I know, man. I'm sorry. Bro, when I tell you, look, I don't typically cry, but at this time, I broke down in front of her dad. I'm like, are you fucking serious? Like, you do realize, like, I love this girl. Like, and now you're telling me she wants me to move out and she's having you tell me? He was like, yeah, man, I'm sorry. But so anyways, long story short, I ended up packing up my shit that whole weekend. I was calling her. She wasn't answering. She texted me. She's like, you know, I'm sure you talked to my dad already. I don't want to talk about it. I'm not coming home this weekend. You know, he told you what I wanted you to hear. And yeah, like I'm in agreement. I want you out.
Man,
bro. So I literally packed up all of my stuff into a storage unit without a place to go, bro. So Sunday night came. I took my last shower. I got in my car. I drove off. And at the time I had a gym membership, so I drove to the gym, hit the gym, got back in the car. Literally nowhere to go, man. I slept in my car for probably a couple weeks, man. Couple weeks, bro.
I feel you, man.
And so within that, I think I want to say like the second week, she hits me up. She's like, I'm so worried about you. I haven't heard from you. I just want to make sure you're okay. She's like, if you need somewhere to come and shower or, you know, like maybe stay the night here and there, as long as you stay in the living room, like that's cool. I'm like, how the fuck can you really, like, it's been a couple weeks now. Now you're worried about me? She's like, look, I'll be honest with you. I feel stupid about this situation. I think like we can probably work it out. She's like, you know, I would really like to see you tonight. And plus, her son had a project he needed to do, and she was like, yeah, you know, it'd be nice to have you help me with the project and this and that. So me being a fucking fool and being a simp, I go to Walmart, buy a bunch of fucking supplies for her son's project. And she was like, you still have your keys, so just let yourself in. I'll be home from work around 9. So I show up like probably around 7:30 or so. Start cutting up, you know, stuff for the project. I'm using a knife. I'm using a scissors. And 9 o'clock comes around. She's not home. So I hit her up. I'm like, hey, it's almost 9:30. Where you at? No response. And at the time, we still followed each other on Snapchat. So I was kind of looking at her location. So I seen she had left work, and the next location was kind of like at a bar area. And then 10 o'clock comes around. I'm like, yo, what's going on? Like, I'm still here. No response. I look at her location again. Now it's at a house in, I think it was like Rialto or something like that. 11 o'clock comes around. She's still not there. 12 o'clock comes around. Lo and behold, she finally starts showing up. So 12 o'clock, she walks in the door. And, hey, what up, Joe? What's going on, man? Yeah. Oh, that's actually Jonathan. Hey, that's what I thought was my cousin for a second.
That's who?
Jonathan. I think that's Jonathan.
I don't think so.
No?
Is it?
Yeah. I want to say we'll see. Put your name in the comment if we know you. Goddammit. But anyway, so you know, I'm sitting here waiting for her. She finally shows up. I'm like, what? Where you been at? The first thing, you know, I'm sitting there with the knife cutting her son's project. And as soon as he walks in, I'm like, what the fuck? So I put my hand up like this with the knife in my hand. I was like, what the fuck? I'm like, I've been here waiting. Like, you asked me to come over, for one, because you wanted to have sex. But two, you needed to have help with your son's project. And you tell me to be here at a certain time. I've been waiting here this whole time. Like, and the first thing she says, she's like, you know what, Chris? I don't want to have this conversation. You need to fucking leave. Bro. Naturally, I'm pissed off. So I fucking slammed my hands down on the thing. I was like, you fucking serious? Like, this is what you do to me? After kicking me out, having me sleep in my car, then you invite me with the premises of having sex, and then to help you out with this project for your son. Like, what did you really want out of me? Like, the fact that you would do this to me, I was like, you know what? Whatever. I was like, whatever. And she's like, leave your key while you're at it too. I'm like, okay, cool. Took off my key. And I was pissed. I did slam the door. I go, get in my car. Again, mind you, I have nowhere to go. So I drove off back to the gym, heated. I'm like, I'm going to go work out. So I go work out, sleep in my car. Next morning, I get a call from her brother. Her brother's like, I know, this is where it gets juicy. Her brother's like, yo, Chris, what the fuck did you do to my sister last night? I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? He literally says, don't you ever fucking show up to my sister's house again, twirling a knife at her, or if you ever do that shit again, I'll shoot you. Bro.
Wow.
Bro, when I tell you, I heard that shit, and right away I was like, yo, say that one more time to me. He was like, I'll fucking shoot you if you ever show up to her house again. I was like, let me process this shit one more time. I was like, I'm gonna tell you right now, as a grown-ass man to another man, you fucking threaten my life, you better be ready to do it. So I was like, say it one more time so I know that you're fucking serious. And he goes, I will, and I fucking clicked. Called his dad right away. I was like, yo, check your fucking son. I am on the way. If he really wants to make threats like that, we can make that shit happen. Mind you, I am a person that is not from here. Doesn't, have, like, if I go and fuck up my record, I've never been arrested, Lou. Ever. Never even had handcuffs on me. So for him to like make those kind of threats, bro, is like crazy to me. So I'm heated. I'm like, yo, check your fucking son. I'm on my way. He's like, whoa, what's going on? I'm like, your son just fucking threatened to shoot me, and I want to pull up to make sure he's fucking gonna hold on to his threats. So I'm on my way. He's like, no. He's like, we don't want to get any. Hold on, let me zoom this in. We don't want to get any. Yeah, I know, right? We don't want to get any cops involved here. Like, please don't show up here and start problems. I was like, I'm not starting any problems. I'm like, your son just fucking threatened to shoot me. And I'm not one to take threats lightly. So what are we going to do about this shit? He was like, well, let me talk to him, this and that. Hold on. Please don't show up over here. I really don't want to have to call the cops. So I give him like 5 minutes. My life. And then you're not going to expect me to be pissed off. Like, so yeah, man, we can fucking handle this one or two ways. He either fucking puts his money where his mouth is, or he fucking apologizes to me. He didn't apologize. Whatever. But I told him, I was like, you know what? Out of respect for you, being her dad, and me working with you, I'm not going to show up. But I'm going to let you know, if I see him in person and he does not come up and give me an explanation or an apology for shit that he has no idea what happened, I'm about to fucking... It's on site, bro. It's on fucking site. So he's like, all right, man, I'm glad we can like work this out. So point being, long story short, is not only did she lie about me while I was there, but she said that I was twirling a knife at her and like put my life at jeopardy over what fucking reason? I really don't even know, bro. I really don't know. But long story short is that she really didn't know the power that she had to really end my life, bro. If let's just say he really thought and like was going to act on this situation, I know, right? It is a novella, and this is real life, people. This is something I really had to deal with, and
I couldn't believe it either when he told me.
And here's the icing on this cake, Lou. And I'm gonna say this to you guys, and I'm gonna say it as a grown man, and I can admit to who I am as a person. To this day, I still have not loved somebody the same way I love that girl. Even in my marriage, bro. Even when I got married, I loved my wife at the time. But I did not have the same love that I had for that girl. That was honestly the last girl that I truly, absolutely felt like the deepest connection and love with. And for her to go and like almost ruin my life, like if the cops or whatever would have showed up, or she would have called the cops, or I mean, granted, she knew the truth. The truth is I was there to smash and help her out, and then she twisted this shit because she got upset because I slammed my hands down and slammed her door. Wow, bro. Yeah. Like, it just goes to show, man. Man. Yeah. Like, this is the power you ladies have. Like, you don't understand. I was literally getting threatened with guns, and the fact that it even got there is wild to me. And this is ladies and gentlemen, this is why we feel the way we feel about this podcast and about dating and women, because we go through so much trying to like do the right thing for you ladies, and then just to get kicked out, lose your place, not have a place to sleep, and then get told that, you know, false stories about you. Like, bro, it hurt my heart, man. And like, I can honestly say to this day, I still haven't really felt like a deep love like her. And I can honestly say there's still a part of my heart that loves that girl. Why? I don't fucking know. I'm over it. Like, I mean, I feel good about the situation now, but you know, you hang on to these things, and you just, as a man, you have to understand like where you went wrong. And I think ultimately in this situation, you know, she wasn't getting the best man that she wanted, and she was still exploring her options, and ultimately she recognized that I wasn't going to do it for her, even though she accepted to get married with me and be with me, and we moved in and all that.
You can't help who you love, you know what I mean? That's just natural, man.
Yeah, man. So it just, you know, that in itself right there just whoo. Yeah, like I get so passionate about it because, man, like for me to like, and I, you know, the crazy part is I still see these people to this day, and I just won't deal with it, you know? Like I don't even like, I'm still respectful to her dad because I still see him, and I you know, say what's up, but when I see her brother, he already knows, and he apologized at work, by the way. And he knew, as soon as we seen each other face to face, he came up. He was like,
I would have too.
He's like, look,
if I knew who you were.
He was like, my bad, bro. Like, I was, you know, obviously trying to be protective of my sister. I'm like, yeah, hey, look, be protective of your sister, but don't fucking make threats you're not willing to keep, bro. I was like, you should know as a person, bro. I'm a fucking fighter. I grew up in martial arts, so you threatening me, I'm about to show the fuck up, and you better show the fuck out because I don't play that shit, man. I do not play that kind of shit. I appreciate that, AJ, you know. And it took those kind of stories for me to recognize that I do deserve better. And it's the reason why I have standards now. I won't go back to being that kind of guy for just anybody anymore. And that's why the story I told you about the girl last week, that, you know, I just put my foot down on a lot of things and I just wouldn't look past it. These are things that make us the way we are in dating now. So
dark side of dating, people. That was a topic. And, you know, we just again, this is just our own experiences, guys. You guys, you know, you let us know anything that we can help somebody else out, that maybe you know that they're going through a certain situation, you know, and it's obvious to you, and you know, just do the right thing, you know, at least let them know. You know what I mean? That's another reason why, like I told you, like Chris has really helped me out to put views into perspective, for me to understand. And you know, he's pretty woke. You know, he's pretty observant. He's yeah, man. Like I said, I don't catch on to these things. Obviously, I got out of the dating scene a long time ago. I was blessed. You know, I was very blessed.
Shit.
You know, especially the way I met you know, my wife and all that. You know, it was in the most, if that's not fate, I don't know what to call it, man. You know,
not to cut you off, Lou, but I even forgot to mention the crazy part about this whole situation is the guy who gave her the gifts all the time, and the one that I was suspective of all the time, she ended up being with that guy. Yeah. She ended up being with that guy, having babies with that guy, and now they're married. And the crazy part is that a couple months before they were about to get married, she was sending me videos of her, sexy pictures, talking about, oh, he's not doing this and doing that. Wow. Bro, you cannot fucking make this shit up. And I have the receipts to fucking prove it. So please, if you ever see this, send me, because I'll out your shit. But I'm not trying to do that. But my point is this is how delulu some women are, bro. Like, the fact that you're going to sit here and do that shit and then still have the audacity to get with this guy, have kids with this baby, and then hit me back up talking about, oh, he's not doing this, he's not doing that. Like,
yeah.
Fucking mind blown, bro.
That's
fucking crazy. Mind blown. Like, yeah, when she started hitting me up again, I was like, are you fucking serious right now?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Anyways, like, you know, look, I will keep it short. We're heading towards the end of the show, you know what I mean? But look, guys, now that, you know, we're older, you know, we're more aware. I can look back now and just say, you know what, damn, I can't believe that I was actually this way. I can't believe that I actually did what I did. I regret definitely some things, and but again, all we can do is really reflect and live and learn. And again,
but it's also made you appreciate when a real woman comes around.
Oh, and that's what I'm getting to. That the point is that just the place.
I got you, Adrian. I got the receipts.
The place where I met you, the place where I met her, the vibe she was giving me, all the things she was saying. It was a completely different version of a girl. You meet the cool ones, you meet the funny ones, you meet the crazies, you meet the this, and then you meet the ones that like are super down to earth, and on top of that, the cherry on top, they're beautiful. And it was just like I said, I wasn't looking for it, I wasn't expecting it, but it was a very special day to me. I ended up meeting her, I got a job, all in that same place. You know what I mean? And it was church. It's funny, yeah. It was actually at church, man. Jesus. That I found
I'll give you that person. One real quick.
You know what I mean? Thank you.
Thank you, Jesus.
It was at church, and the point is that I ended up making my decision. It was an obvious one. I didn't hesitate. She immediately said yes when I asked her to be my girlfriend. She didn't even hesitate. It was so cute. You know what I mean? She told me she the first person, she just ran upstairs and told her brother. It was so innocent, where she's like, "Oh, I went upstairs and told my brother." Like, why not your best friend? Why not you this? And obviously family is the most the most important thing, and who you could trust the most. So the fact that, and that's just another sign of her that she wasn't gonna go tell her best friend, or she went and told her brother. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it was funny because when we first went on a date, he was like chaperoning. It was, bro, I thought I was gonna get pocket check, bro. Jump. I was like, hey, hold on, I gotta put my shit in my fucking socks real quick, because there's two goons following me. But it was, lo and behold, it was a brother. And I think that's traditional. That was another sign of traditional woman, that the point where her parents weren't comfortable with her going out. I was older, obviously, but at the time it was just.
So basically, you're saying she wasn't a gold digger.
Nah,
she didn't have a hidden agenda.
Not at all.
She wasn't just trying to take you for the boyfriend energy and what she can get out of you.
Nope.
She was actually.
She reciprocated as much as I was giving to her. She reciprocated right back. Hey. And it was just, like I said, it didn't take me long to figure that out. You know what I mean? Like, it was just, yeah, it was an obvious choice. I don't regret that at all. I actually, it's made me the person who I am now. And like I said, that's just a overall reflection of what I had to go through and experience in my life in this dating situation. And like I said, I'm glad I caught on early. I got with my wife. We have a beautiful family now. And, the point is that I think at the end of the day, she's never been anything like these women. That's why I feel like I was a good little asset to this podcast, because Chris has always seen it. He knows. Yeah, my
I can
wife,
contest to.
You know what I mean? And it was like, again, we've been together for a long time. Obviously, we got ups and downs. You know what I mean? Like any normal relationship, you got to communicate. You got to get through it. And if you really love each other, you're gonna push through it.
And ladies, please, if you're in here, please give us your insight. Like, what did we do wrong in these situations? How can we have changed any outcome, or not even go through some of the things that we did go through? Like, do you feel like we were being too overbearing? Do you feel like we were not doing enough? Like, obviously we're not perfect. Nobody's perfect. We try our best, especially as men. You have to understand, men have a duty to make sure we are actively trying to take you out and do the right thing by you, show you that we are trying to be with you. Like, so please let us know, like, if there's anything we could have changed in these scenarios, in these 4 stories we told you guys about. Did you even tell your second story? You did, right?
Yeah, okay, definitely. Okay.
But clearly not paying attention.
Yeah, the point is, look, we would really like your guys' feedback. It would really help us for you guys to like the video if you like the stories that we said. You know what I mean? And again, we're trying to be consistent and giving you guys content or whatever, but we do need your help a little bit. Just a little bit.
we always need the feedback.
Yeah, and again, we're not perfect men. We're not saying we're right. We're not saying we're wrong. We're just trying to spread the word and give certain situations and wake up men and stop making stupid decisions. Stop thinking with the other head and just be more smart, be aware, and especially nowadays, 2025 is about to be 2025, and it's only getting worse. So watch yourselves, man. Like, you just gotta,
man, don't be fucking simps.
Yeah, man, that's the worst. It's the worst, bro. And these
stories are a culmination of what made us the men we are today. And this is just 2 stories from us each. There's many more. And many more, like maybe not as crazy. There are some other crazy ones, but maybe one day we'll do a part 2 of this and bring on some other stories that we have. But
yeah,
we just want to let you guys understand why this podcast started in the first place, because ultimately we have stories, man. We've been
what
through
does that
stuff.
mean? Why should put 3?
She said you smell like shit.
Damn, that sucks. That's
face.
Crazy. Is that
His
bad?
Face.
You can smell it through the mic.
Oh shit.
That's crazy.
His face when I said you smell like shit, he was like well, yeah, man, like we brought these stories up because it's why we are how we are now, and it's why a lot of men go through the shit that we go through and become how they are. Like, we don't just become dogs just because we want to be dogs. Like, yes, it's built in as to a lot of girls, right? But ultimately, we I think most men start off with a good heart. Definitely. And I think as they keep getting it broken, they start saying, you know what, I'm not going to put it back together anymore. I'm just going to live with this broken heart and treat y'all the way you treat us. And I think that's where we end up in this, especially now, like how fast-paced dating is and with social media. And
yeah,
it's way.
If you don't cut it on social media, they probably won't even give you a chance, man.
And the crazy thing is dating is so fast tracked that they don't even really got to get to know you, man. They could just look at your Instagram and be like, yeah, this nigga ain't worth shit.
Yeah.
They're like, so you can't even get into that situation. So even more so as men, we have to bring it, man. We have to have status. We have to have something going on for us. So if you men are trying to date, like, make sure, for one, your priorities are straight. Make sure, 2, you're not being a simp. And 3, you're recognizing when you are getting played. Like, you have to pay attention. Like, I tell Lou all the time, I pay attention to everything. When it comes to dating, I watch people's nuances. I watch the things that people do when they're being a certain way. Like, my last relationship that you see me with, I called it on the spot that she was being different. You've seen it.
Yeah.
And sure enough, she admitted to it. But again, this is the mentality I've had to build over time, Yeah. I wasn't always like this savvy on relationships. And, again, this is why we're here. This is why we're having this podcast. So I know you had put up a quote.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was getting to that. I just don't want to cut you off, but definitely, we try to leave off with a little something for you guys. We find this time to really do our research. I mean, we're not just really talking out of our ass either. You know what I mean? We searched just pretty much quotes, and this one was hit home for me, especially given this episode. And here it goes. The quote is, the one who is meant for you encourages you to be your best, but still loves and accepts you at your worst. So, again, I don't know, you guys take that how you want, but it just really hit home for me because at the end of the day, if she really loves you, man, it doesn't matter what you are. As long as you're good to the girl, you take care of her, man, she's always going to give you her all, bro. And
she'll accept you for who you are.
Exactly. She'll accept you for who you are and the way you are. And I mean, again, that's just a quote for the day.
And I know you were telling me this off air. The reason why you picked this quote is because you felt like you absolutely found somebody who was going to accept you for the person you were. You didn't have to change anything about yourself.
Most definitely.
She fell in love with you as a person, and that's ultimately, I think that quote right there is a testament to why you guys have lasted this long, because neither of you guys have really had to change too much of yourself. You guys accepted each other for the flaws that you guys had, and you guys have built on that. And and I think the quote says
they don't make them like mine anymore. And whatever, man, if you guys don't want to believe it, I live a very happy life, and I don't have to lie to myself. Again, we're not perfect. None of us are. We have our ups and downs, our disagreements or whatever, because it wouldn't be a good relationship. You can't just be all the way perfect. That's impossible. I don't believe that. Yeah, but at the end of the day, I do want to leave that for you guys. And I don't know if you want to add anything else to that.
Yeah, just like you said, you know, that quote speaks volumes, and I really think that you'll know right off the bat whether or not somebody's worth your time and energy, and whether or not you're gonna, you know, even remotely decide to take her seriously. And I think more so, just like I've been speaking on all these pods, that you guys really need to have a standard for yourself, especially as men. Like, set a standard for the type of woman you want, and if she doesn't fall into that category, don't even do it. Because what ends up happening is you get into these situations that we spoke on today, these horror stories of dating, and you go through this shit. You could possibly get killed. You can possibly get arrested. You can possibly have your life thrown away. You can possibly get kicked out of this country for something you never even did. And that's simply because you look past certain red flags. You look past certain standards that you had for yourself. So, men, don't be simps. Ladies, don't do the most of these men. Like, you know, some of these stories is crazy. What?
She had it in a commandment.
Yeah, you know, so what we're just trying to say is, like, if you love somebody and you want to be with that person, do all you can to be with that person. Don't put them through the ringer. You know, don't look past certain things. If it's an issue, state it right off bat. And if there's something that person can do to change it, then, you know, even better. Like, but again, don't look past certain things that people are just not willing to change, because you end up with these kind of horror stories. And we're trying to save people from, you know, getting into situations like this. And mostly, obviously, we are men, so we're trying to cater to men. But at the same time, you know, women get to join. I've been noticing a big part of our viewership has been women.
Oh, low key, it's just been girls.
Have you noticed that?
I'm glad, actually.
You know, and that's a beautiful thing, because we want ladies' opinions. We want to understand why you ladies do certain things. Like, you know, so the fact that a lot of ladies come in, especially during like the actual live and comments and stuff like that, it's a beautiful thing. We want you ladies to understand we're not trying to bash you at all. We're bashing the bad women that we've come across and some of the shit that we see on a day-to-day basis in the dating game. So, you know, ladies, we love y'all and we want to be with y'all, but make it a little easier for us guys, man. Like, if we're already working as hard as we are to try to get your attention, like,
we're not just trying to make you to just give it up. Obviously, he's got to be worth it. He's got to have a job.
Well, what I mean by easy is not the box. I just mean make it a little bit more accessible for us to even get into talking to you. You know what I mean? So, but go ahead.
No, but that was, you know, I was just gonna touch on that, but, you know, again, tell us what you guys think.
Yeah, that was
like,
pretty
subscribe. That was pretty much all we have for you guys for you today. You know, again, this was we've been busy. We've been a lot of
some women. Yeah, some women. Absolutely.
We've been everywhere, and we don't really have time to do the full like research, but we do take notes or whatever. But again, we really appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Again, like the video, share the video.
Yeah, so just touching on that same thing, you know, everybody who comes in and views our stuff, thank you guys from the bottom of our heart. We say it every time we go on these lives, but because we really do appreciate it. And just like Lou was saying, we really do have to work. We don't have a lot of time. Like, we literally did a whole week-long trip, did a 12-hour drive yesterday, did a 4-hour drive today, came home, got right into working on the pod, getting everything set up. Like,
there's a lot more to it than you think.
We're doing a lot, and we really believe in the quality of what we're talking about. We really believe in the message that we're trying to convey here. So if you guys really enjoy this stuff, it really helps us.
I mean, we're committed. We're committed for you guys. You know, we don't just do it for ourselves. You know, we do it for entertainment wise, obviously for you guys, and but at the same time, you know, we're trying to spread the word out there to men. Stop being so dumb, bro. Stop, you know, get your shit together, man. Get your money up. That's the only way, man. Yeah. You know, Tony Montana said it better, man. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the woman. You know, and you know, it's the truth, man. And that's the way we got to live it. And that's just the reality nowadays. But it's just crazy the standards that these women have it nowadays, given certain situations that they're going through, whether you're a single mom, whether you're, you know, you have these high standards that doesn't let you, like, you know, like he said, Chris said it last time, you know, you ladies are victims to your own standards. Yep. And, you know, it's tough out here. for men, but you're making it even damn near impossible for you guys to find a good solid guy because you guys are
Your
just so
standards are
brainwashed
just up here.
that you think that we need to really like be a millionaire or earn
Jennifer.
over 100K to even talk to you. You know what I mean? That's unrealistic, man. Only about the average person is only making about 35 to 40K a year. That's the average.
Yep.
Average person. And that's the regular, you, me, him, whatever. I mean, obviously some of us make a little bit more, but the point is that's just the average. But the point is that, you guys just need to get it together the same way that guys need to be held accountable.
And again, I want to comment on Kathy's comment. You put some women. We agree. Look, we're not saying all women. And again, we want to really stress this point. We are speaking in a generality. It's not all women that are like this. There are the token few that are in there that are scattered within this fucking collage of bullshit that we gotta, sift through. Like, so again, Kathy, like, we get it. There are good women. Lou's proof of it right here. I know there's Jennifer just came in here and I spoke to her off air. She said the same thing. Like, what kind of women are you dating? I'm like, and this is just the thing. Like, we have to go through dates just to find out whether or not a girl is even remotely like good. And the fact is we have 80% of the time where we're getting shit dates and shit women who are talking to, and then you have every now and again where a good woman comes along, and then you got to go through those nuances and try to figure her out. So
yeah, man,
that's in America. I think California, LA specifically, might be different. And just like we said on the last pod, the passport bro things. Men are really leaving the United States because Western women are cooked. Again, majority, generality people. We're not speaking specifically to the people in here. We are saying in general, Western women are cooked. And we're seeing it based on how dating is. We're seeing it based on how guys are literally leaving the United States to go try to find a wife because they tend to be a little bit more submissive, a little bit less masculine. We're not saying these things to like dog women out. It's the truth.
And the way I feel, the reason why you say that, Kathy, is because obviously, I mean, you don't know what the scene is like for being for the streets. You know what I mean? You're obviously
because she's a woman.
Exactly. She's I mean, I believe that there's women out there handling their business and all that. We're just speaking on the dating scene. I mean,
especially from a man's perspective.
Exactly. This is just the dating scene. I mean, having a relationship with somebody, full blown, that's a whole nother topic. If you have any questions about, we could get into it. Like I said, we could discuss it. And give me a second, Jennifer. I got you. But the point is that don't take it personal. The point is that it's generalities. We're not speaking to specific people.
Yeah.
Again, we believe that are good women out there. There's no doubt about it. But just you've seen it. You see all these gold digger videos. You see, I'm sure you're on social media. You know what I mean? There's more. Those are more entertaining to see because some of the women, they're like, oh damn, they laugh about it because they know they've done it. It's fucked up because again, we're the ones that are like really like fuck, man. We're getting played.
Like let's keep it a bean. Men are the ones actively dating. Women just pick and choose when they want to date because they're not the ones going out there trying to get a man. We are trying to get a woman, and you ladies have to choose whether or not it's something that you want to do, whether or not this guy even checks a box just off appearance and status and what his social media says, or if you met him in the street. Naturally, you're going to look at this guy up and down. If he's not tall enough, you're probably not going to be interested. Again, these are things that us men have to deal with. So
first, what's masculine? I mean, right off jump, do you believe that women should be masculine at any time?
Ooh, that's a really good question, Jennifer. Go ahead.
So look, the point is that I don't believe that in any way that a female should act or be in any way masculine. And in my opinion, it's just being too loud, not really respecting your man. And if you guys talk to each other a certain way at home, I mean, do your thing. I mean, I'm no judge. But if you're like out in public, or if let's say you're a little promiscuous on social media, just certain things like pretty much trying to feel like you're the one that has to have the last word. You know, in all reality, like, I mean, I feel like the man is a leader. You should follow his lead. You can have your opinion, and obviously we're gonna take that under consideration. But at the end of the day, I would more than expect you to just, you know,
respect your man's choices.
Respect your man's choices.
Decisions.
And again, to your other question, would you consider a woman who makes more money than their man masculine? Absolutely not. I don't think that. I mean, it all depends on if the way you act with your guy. Obviously, I believe any woman that makes more money than her guy, you're only going to tolerate that for so long. You could be in your feminine and all that, but once you realize that, damn, I'm taking on the most of the responsibilities and I'm doing this, I'm doing that, you're going to feel more entitled to more opinions and more things that and you have every right to, because you're doing your thing and you're providing more than the man. But again, that's my opinion on if it's considered masculine. I mean, I guess it all depends on how you are in your relationship.
So touching on the money thing, I absolutely believe that, again, majority of women who make more money than their man can't really respect their man. Because at the end of the day, when a woman chooses her man, most of the time they are looking for somebody more competent, higher earner, smarter, you know, taller, stronger. So naturally, if you're choosing a guy who's already making less than you, that's already one thing that you're going to have to provide more of in the relationship. So if you're making more money than him, and you're bringing in, you're basically taking care of the household, naturally, the dynamic between a man and a woman is going to shift. The man no longer has any type of leadership role because he's not making more than you. You know, so I think it's just a matter, just like Lou said, a matter of how long you can tolerate this man not making more than you, and how long that respect lasts. Because I think if a man's making less, I truly believe that you're not going to respect that man for a long time, because again, you ladies want stronger, more competent, taller. You know, like this is a fact, ladies. Like let's be real with each other. Are you really going to get with a guy who makes less than you, who's not stronger than you? You know, we've said this on other podcasts. If you get into a situation where, you know, some guy's about to attack you, like, are you really expecting? Say it, Jennifer. We want you to say it. You know, again, there are exceptions to the rules. There's you know, there's people who are okay with doing this, and there are women who are out there who are okay with making more and providing more and still being feminine, you know. But the reality is I think the more money you earn as a woman, the more masculine you become. And that's natural. That's okay. But I just think if that's the kind of person you're going to be and you want a guy to be a leader, then you need to find a guy who's going to make more than you. That's just a fact. But and she made me lose my train of thought when I seen the thing. But yeah, essentially, like, I just don't think you can respect that guy for a long period of time if you're making more than him. Because he's no longer the leader. He's no longer the provider. If you're providing more than him, then what's he really doing? Oh, that's what I was going to say. Like, let's be real. If a situation happens and you're about to be attacked by another guy, are you not going to look at your man and be like, protect me? Like, and if he can't do that, you're not going to respect this man. And it's the same thing with money. If he can't provide for you just the same way he can protect you, you're gonna lose that respect. Less, you know. Yeah, you're gonna lose that respect for him.
I mean, it would take a very strong bond, or I don't know what would be keeping you to put up with the fact that you make more than him. That's just majority. I mean, would you really honestly be okay with going out with a guy that makes maybe not significantly less, but definitely to the point where you're up on him one? You know what I mean? Like, yeah. It's only gonna be a matter of time where you're gonna be like, all right, yeah, he's not really trying harder. I mean, maybe I guess in a situation maybe where he got with you and he bettered himself and it got to a point where he surpassed you. Yeah. Then absolutely. But
even that though is within reason. You're not going to sit there and take that for 2-3 years. Like, he has to be actively doing something to better himself while he's with you. Yeah. And I also think that, let's just say you get with this guy and he was making more than you at some point, and then something happened within his job and he became the less earner. I think those kind of situations are natural. But again, I just don't think you would put up with it for a long period of time. It's just like, all right, put it like this. If you got with a guy who's making more than you, right? He loses his job. How long are you going to tolerate that man not having a job? You're not going to, are you really going to take care of him for the rest of his life if he so chooses to not work anymore just because he lost his job and he can't get one? I disagree. I made more my ex, but never held overhead. We split our bills according to our income. I respected his opinions. Okay.
But you just said it. He's your ex. What happened? Why are you guys not together if you guys had an agreement? I mean, see, that's what we're getting to. We clearly, you just proved our point there, because you only accepted it to a certain extent. I mean, I don't know why you guys split up, but
there could be underlying situations.
In a way, I feel like that had actually a part to play in it. That just mostly goes, like I said, we're speaking on a generality here. I mean, again, you might be an exception to the rule or whatnot. I don't know what your situation is specifically, but at the end of the day, like I said, he's your ex for a reason. If you guys had it all figured out, I mean,
he wouldn't be your ex.
He wouldn't be your ex.
And again, we don't know the specifics of why you guys split, obviously, and God forbid it's something horrible, but you know, the reality is he is your ex for a reason. You obviously had some reason why you had to leave, and you know, I just think that if he was doing all he could do to provide, protect, you know, be that guy for you, you wouldn't have left him. And I mean, again, cheating and all this other stuff, that's a whole different
But topic. Talk about it if you want to or not. Again, like you made the argument about the money thing.
Yeah.
And you just said, I disagree. I made more than my ex, but I never held that over his head. We split our bills accordingly to our income. I respect his opinions and him. Again, that right there is,
that's a beautiful thing.
That's a beautiful thing that you did that. But again, what happened? Like, I mean, if it was an agreement you guys had, then what was the reasoning? I mean, let's talk about it here. If you really want our opinion about it, then I mean, you got to be a little bit more open-minded about the situation.
And let's just keep it a bean. I'll be real with you. If I was this man, right, who my girl was making more than me, I'll be real with you. I wouldn't sit there and feel comfortable as a man knowing that my woman was making more than me. And the truth is like at some point I'd start feeling like, damn, I'm not really doing my part. Like she probably looks at me as like a dumbass and like I can't do what the fuck I need to do. But again, it all just depends on the situation, the circumstances, and we really don't know what you guys went through. And hold on, she actually commented, so let's put it back so we can all see the comment. When I date, I look for someone who can respect me and someone who can. What's so funny? Hold on. I haven't even finished. Oh, you obviously finished it.
No.
Someone who I can get along with. Money isn't what I look for.
Again, look, Jennifer. Look, that's a whole nother conversation. But we're not speaking about you. We're only speaking in generalities. But the reality is, you would only, I mean, most women would only put up with a guy as much as, you know, they can provide.
All right. Jennifer, I got to ask you a question. You said money is not something that really bothers you. It's not something you're looking for, right? So would you be willing to date a guy who doesn't have a job? He's basically living off of you. Would you be okay with providing for that man? Would you even date him if he didn't have a job? My ex is because he was selfish in my eyes. Okay. Again, that's these are nuances that we have to really understand, and obviously we don't want to blast your relationship on.
Exactly. But again, look, we don't want you to take anything personal. Again, we just gave you some examples of our lives.
So okay, she wouldn't go ahead, Lou.
Oh, well,
sorry, I keep reading the comments.
Yeah, but look, at the end of the day, I don't believe that just by what you're saying that you're a bad person or you're in any way like not aware of what you're doing. I'm pretty sure you're a grown woman, you know. But at the end of the day, you got to be realistic about it. You look for security first. I mean, at the end of the day, like if you're gonna take somebody serious, he has to be at least on your level, if not better. Preferably, you're gonna want him to be doing better than you. And I mean, you could say all you want, like, oh yeah, you know, we agreed that we're that, but at the end of the day, he's obviously was lacking in something. You said right now that he was selfish. Again, that's, I mean, you made the choice to be with this guy, and you know, you had to learn the hard way, obviously, but you know, I guess leaving him, I mean, I'm assuming you're doing better now. And like I said, I don't know you personally, but that's just my opinion on it.
And, you know, based on what you just said and based on the comments she just put, I wouldn't date a freeloader. And that just proves our point. Women will not date a guy who does not bring something to the table. This man has to have some type of status, some type of, you know, he has to have something going on in his life. You're not going to just date some guy who's got no job, lives at home with mom, you know, fucking doesn't have a car. Like, he has to bring something. And this is what we mean. Like, women, you won't even entertain that guy. So clearly our status and what we do and how much we make and how we can protect you plays a role. So at what point are you okay with it, Jennifer? Like, you won't date a freeloader, but you're okay with paying more of the bills for how long? Or is that forever thing? Like, you're okay with him making $20K and you're making $60K for the year? I'm very curious, you know, because again, you know, it sounds good on paper, but when it boils down to it and you're in that relationship with that guy, like, are you really okay with paying
slowly you will
bills?
lose respect for him, is what we're trying to explain to you. Like, regardless of the situation that you put yourself in, as good hearted as you want to see in people, like the good in them. I mean, we're all good people to a certain extent, but you know, at the end of the day, everybody's trying to secure their future to a certain extent. And for women, you know, obviously it's your right. You know, it's what women they shouldn't be working super hard to make ends meet and all that, especially when you have a partner. You know what I mean? That's just natural. You know, the way I grew up, my dad was a breadwinner, my mom, and that's just traditional, you know, parenting, growing up and all that. But we both know that that's not how it is nowadays. You know what I mean? Because they wouldn't, back in the day, they wouldn't just leave. You know what I mean? Women wouldn't just leave just like that because they weren't in a position, because, again, the man was a breadwinner and all that. I mean, they pushed through it. And, I mean, there's a lot of successful marriage stories out there. Like I said, we're not talking about everybody. There's obviously exceptions to the rule, but the majority, that's just how it is.
Yes, for sure. As long as he is taking care of me emotionally. Interesting. So... emotional, that's a tough one too, because, you know, most men tend to not act on their emotions too often, or at least be like emotionally providing. I feel like that's a tough one, but okay, you know. And again, you might be an exception to the rule. You know, majority of the women these days will absolutely not even give a guy the time of the day if he's making less than her.
And look, hold on, could be said, some men will choose not to work and simply give up and be like, I'll get back to it next month. Wait, what? Wait. Oh, my God.
Holy shit.
Wait. Did I read that right?
Yeah, some men will choose not to work, simply give up and be like, I'll get back to it next month. Speaking on a scenario of someone close to me.
What does that even mean?
Oof. Yeah, look.
Yeah,
if this man,
get away from that guy.
If this man has the luxury of saying, I'm not going to try to find work this month, I'll get back to it next month, that man,
unless he's a trust fund baby, or
like he's got to have something. I mean? Who's providing for his bill? Who's paying for his roof over his head?
Yeah, because
if that's the scenario, bro, like, show me the ways, because
I'm
over here stressing about my fucking bills. Hold on,
that's crazy. Oh, man, I don't even know what to say about that one.
I think we already know what to say about that. That motherfucker is either a pimp.
Man.
Holy
something,
shit,
bro.
Man.
Damn, that fool is
he's a savage.
Yeah, he's a savage.
If he can get away with that kind of... Well, first off, if he's in a relationship and he can get away with that kind of thing, he's a fucking pimp.
Damn.
That man is absolutely working the system.
Wow. That fool cracked the code.
Oh my god. Yeah, he definitely he's out the matrix.
Yeah, definitely. Man, that is funny.
If I looked at any girl I was dating and said, I'm about to take this month off to figure out what I'm gonna do for next month as far as money goes, they would look at me like I'm stupid.
That sounds like a female thing, honestly.
Yeah, like a girl can absolutely get away with that kind of shit because the expectation for a woman is not the provider protector, you know. We don't expect women to do that. So for a man to say it is fucking wild.
Yeah, wow, I can.
Wild as fuck, man. I get it, no doubt. If you guys can take care of me financially, cool. But if he's a jerk, makes money, nah, I'll pass. Okay. So, and this is the thing, like, yeah, you're absolutely right. Men who tend to make more money, especially six-figure earners, you know, like real up there, making $1 million a year, absolutely, you're going to get a specific kind of a guy. And again, this also goes back into a majority of guys who make top tier money will absolutely be assholes. But there are still those guys, just like there are exceptions to the rules with women. There are still exceptions to the rules with men. So I do believe that there are absolutely men out there who will make lots of money and will hold down one woman and treat her right and respect her. But I just honestly feel like a woman cannot respect a man that she makes that she makes more money over him. So, like, you know, I mean, again, Jennifer, you might be the exception to the rule, and we appreciate women like you because we need more women like that in this day and age. And you know, I think it's a lot of what guys like myself, and I know you when you're dating, like, you're in for. We want a woman who's going to absolutely respect us as a man, who's not going to contest us when we put our foot down about certain things. And I feel like if a man is making more money in the house, I think he has absolute all rights to be how he needs to be in the relationship, and I think she should respect that.
To a certain extent, with respect, of course. But in all honesty, if you're talking about a high earner like that, man, you're gonna have to, you know, you're gonna have to understand that this man has options. So that means that you're gonna have to make some exceptions.
I'll say it like this: a man is only as faithful as his options, and if he's making more money, he has a lot more options.
Yeah. So I mean, just be prepared to deal with that kind of, and it's most likely gonna happen. You know, I mean, they're not like that for you know, as an accident. They're like that because they're obviously assertive. They have certain traits to them that makes them the way they are.
They've earned that status.
They've earned exactly. Right. You know, that's. But we can't really speak on that side of the perspective because, like I said, we're not nowhere near those, you know, millionaires and you know, I mean, none
we
of
do
that.
Good, but we ain't fucking rich.
Again, the reality is that I'm pretty sure any girl would I mean, choose a millionaire over average Joe any day. And given that choice, then you're just, like I said, you're going to have to deal with what it comes with.
Again, another reason why we started this podcast, because just like Lou said, we're not top tier earners. We make great money, but we're not rich or anything like that. And the reality is 80% of the women that we come across, well, obviously not you, but 80% of the women I come across look past me because I'm not that top tier earner. I'm not 6 foot tall. I'm barely making it to 5'10", and you know, I get looked past all the time. And I'm not the most handsome guy. I'm not, you know, I consider myself very average, below average, if I'm really being real about myself. But again, look, you and I know.
Well, look, I mean, hey, again,
you and I know, man.
We're not trying to put too much information out there like that, man, or whatever. But you know, we do averagely. You know, we're the average people. We're not speaking on high earners. So like you said, I get it, no doubt. If you can take care of me financially, cool. But if he's a jerk, makes money, I'll pass. And I get it. That's your preference. But again, all we're trying to say is that the more money he has, the more options he has. That's it. Yeah. That's bottom line.
Yeah, and I think, you know, I know, Jennifer, you might not like hearing this, but the reality is if he does make more money and he has options, you know, I think it's within something that, or let's just say that if you're with this kind of guy, you should absolutely do your best to keep that kind of guy. If he's gonna, you know, have all these things to those are facts. Yeah. Hey, you know, we appreciate that. But yeah, Jennifer, I like, you know, understand that the higher tier man that you get, the more likely he is to be a jerk. So if that's the kind of man that you're looking for, or end up talking to, then yeah, absolutely expect this man to have certain ways about him, and you're just gonna have to Yeah, it's nice. You know, I have to accept some of the things that come along with that.
Oh, man. They're roasting you.
Hey, but those are facts. We appreciate that. Love the quote. Hey, that's awesome, bro. See that? We knew that quote was gonna be a good one. Charles, you got to go to church. Fuck, man. You know, I love God, and thank you, God, for every blessing that I have ever gotten, and thank you for giving me the knowledge and the wisdom that I do have now when it comes to dating, when it comes to my finances, when it comes to just life. I appreciate him for bestowing me with breath every morning that I get up. Like, thank you, God, for all of those things. And, you know, none of this stuff would be possible without him. And maybe you're right. Maybe I do got to go to church. And, you know, that's something that I don't really do too often. And I know I should. But, you know, every now and again, I'll go read my Bible. You know, it's right there in the living room. I'll go and read it. You know,
I figured it out a long time ago. Don't worry.
Yeah. He obviously figured it out. I'm fucking up. But, you know, again, this is why we have these conversations, people. And, you know, we feel like it's really important that we try to have an understanding about what men want and what women want, and, you know, figure out how to help men stop being simps, and how to figure out how to get women to not be such high standards with some of these men. Because the reality is 80% of women don't respect 80% of men. So, you know, that's just how it is. And I think we need to, like, even out that playing field a little bit and just get back to where dating is just a little bit easier, man. I absolutely miss the days when I used to be able to go knock on her door. I'm like, hey, so-and-so here. And then she comes out, and then you guys go walk down the street, and then you talk, and you have such a fucking great time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I think, you know, it's those kind of things that we need.
Angel,
you know?
What the hell?
Hey, yeah. welcome in. Thank you guys for coming in and popping in, commenting. It's been really good. Angel, you're going to have to go back. If you're just coming in and seeing some of this stuff, man, go back, watch this episode. Please hit that like button if you enjoy some of the stuff we spoke on. And what we're really about, you know, go back, and I implore you to go watch some of the previous episodes. And, yeah, really, like, the support really helps us, guys. It really does.
Thank you, guys.
Please, like, try to, even if some of you guys are in here that are watching and you're not subscribed, make sure you go hit the subscribe button.
Appreciate you, Angel.
Yeah, man. Make sure you guys go and hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you guys know when we go live. So far, we've been going live every Friday, 7 p.m. You know, it's been helping us, you know. Hey, the big homie Lou.
Yes, sir. That's my boy, man. Yeah, that's my boy, dog. That's actually family right there, man. Hey, stop playing with me.
That's what's up. Man. And, you know, and that's what we love, man. The fact that we're getting some of you guys in here and, like, getting the interaction, you know, all the people who's commented on this video and just gave insight, like, we really appreciate
this makes it better. I think it's good because, you know, you guys are asking us, you know, let's not make it all about us. I mean, you know,
exactly.
Like I said, this is a platform where we could all interact and help each other, you know. And and thank you for Jennifer for, you know, tuning in and give us your input. You know, I like I said, we don't want to put your business out there like that too much, but the fact that you actually commented and wanted
we're not trying to blast you either.
You know, just wanted to get at least a point of view of things. Maybe we could have said the wrong things. Maybe we've said the right things. But I hope you could understand that men or women are different. We view things differently. And if a guy's worth anything and gonna, you know, do anything for a girl, he's gonna provide for you and all that right off jump. And like you said, it may not be about money. You know, that's an exception to the rule. But we, at the end of the day, we appreciate you for tuning in and commenting.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. I mean, again, this is something.
What does that mean?
I think maybe she's saying that's her nickname, J-Mo.
Oh,
Jamo. I don't know. Jamo. I don't know.
Yeah.
Elaborate on that one, Jennifer. I'm assuming that's your nickname, J-Mo. I could be saying that shit all wrong, but
yeah.
I'm not trying to put my whole business out.
No, I hear you.
Absolutely. We don't want you to put your business out there that. And that's the reason why
I'm just appreciating the fact that you commented, you know, and gave us a little, at least we can answer to a female. And, you know, again, we need to help each other. We're not perfect. We're not right. We're not, you know, like I said, we're not saying that we're 100% right. And you could have, if you give us your feedback on future episodes and stuff, that really help us out. That's really what this is all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We definitely don't want you blasting your business out there. And, you know, one of the beautiful things that we were just speaking on earlier, one of the beautiful things about this whole podcast since we started, a big portion of our audience are women.
Yeah.
Even though this is a male self-developed podcast, we are getting more women in here They're giving us really good input, and this is what we want. We want to open up this dialogue within each other, to have a safe place to talk about these things, like, because the fact that we're even talking about it means that it's a problem in the first place.
You're right, and again, we will, if you keep the peace with the man, that's automatic. You know, he's gonna treat you right. That's all we ask for. You know what I mean? That's all we want at the end of the day is peace and love in our home. And you know, if again, we're gonna have ups and downs, but at the end of the day, you know, we have to keep it together, you know, to be strong for the future of our kids now.
That we have another one from Angel, if you want to read that one out.
No one is perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. It's only you to learn from it. Best quote I've got from Luis OG. Hey, I mean, hey, I appreciate you, bro. You know, and this is just our points of views, how we've gotten to this place, man. You know, he's giving me a lot of insight, and you know, this is just for us giving our perspective, and you know, we want your feedback and tell us, and I appreciate you. God bless you, man. You're a real one. Thank you.
So to answer your question, Jennifer, about being able to respect a woman and understanding a woman, but not both. So this is just the way I see it. I think you can respect a woman and you can understand her, but you can't do both, because if you respect her, I feel like as a man, I think she has to respect you more. So if you're respecting her, you're at a disadvantage, because I think, in all honesty, I think she should respect you a little bit more as the higher. And this is assuming that he's the higher earner. He's doing his part. But I think it's hard for you to respect her and understand her at the same time, because that dynamic together won't work. And if you really have to do a deep dive into those two words, understanding and respecting. The reality is if you understand or if you respect her, you're not really one up on her. And I again, you guys might not like this, but I feel like a man needs to be the provider, protector, and he has to be more respected by his woman versus him respecting her more. You know what I mean? You want to elaborate on that a little bit?
I mean, again,
I'll give you a little bit more context through text, Jennifer, just because I don't want to. There's certain things we can say on YouTube that I think can get us banned. So I'm gonna elaborate more on that.
I wish we could be on Rumble. You know, the Rumble's a whole another ball game. I feel like we're really just holding back a lot of our strong opinions, because you know, but at the end of the day, we're only going as far as we can. But we appreciate you again for, you know, challenging us on it. But the way we would have to elaborate on some things, we can't really.
If we say it here, we're gonna get copyright and striked and all this other stuff, and
it's a lot that goes with this whole thing, man. You know, you gotta. It is what it is, you know. But again, we do appreciate you tuning in at least, and you know, again, if he'll elaborate more on you.
Yeah, I'll send you a message, Jennifer, and I'll explain it a little bit better, just because, like I said, if I say some of the words that I want to say here, we'll definitely have this video striked. And we're not trying to get banned when we're just trying to get started. So we'll keep some of the opinions until we finally get to stream on Rumble a little bit. Yeah. And but anyways, look, it's we're already at 2 hours. We've been going for a little minute, and we do want to make sure that Luke can get home safe, because he's been out of town for a whole week. But we absolutely appreciate everybody who's come in here, who's shared, liked, commented. Like, the fact that you guys are watching and enjoying some of this content, asking questions, like, it's absolutely why we love doing this. Like, we legit look forward to Fridays. Like, we talk all week. We're like, oh man, we're gonna put that on the pod. Oh, this is gonna be controversial. I'm excited. You know, like, it's been really good for us, man. So we appreciate you guys coming in. Please, again, I know we said this a few times already, but hit the subscribe button if you're in here.
And, you know, I know I'm going to just throw this out there. I probably should have done this on the intro. You know, I just want to give a shout out to my moms. Happy birthday, Mom. La quiero mucho.
Happy birthday,
you know,
Mari.
I like I said, women are supposed to be respected, loved, and cherished, and all that. So find a man that can prove that to you. You know what I mean? And don't stop focusing on how much he can how much money he makes,
Yeah.
you know, and I think that's the majority of the mentality of younger women. I mean, like I said, we're not speaking on all of them, but that's just the majority. They're more worried about what a man can do for them as opposed to how he can take care of them. You know what I mean?
And he said something very beautiful to his mom earlier, and I won't share it. You know, that's up to you if you want to, but you know, the reality is his mom raised a great fucking guy, and I can attest to that because I trust this man with my life. And the fact that he is the type of person that he is as a man and how he treats women, you know, like that's all kudos to his mom and his dad. You know, like he was fortunate enough to have his mom and dad growing up, and
Rest in peace, Chano.
Rest in peace,
my
your dad,
pops.
man. And, you know, and you know, just he said something super beautiful to his mom, and it was just it hit home, man, because I feel the same way about my mom. You know, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't respect women to a certain degree how I do now. I mean, obviously my respect level has changed over time because of what I've been through with them, but you know, people change. Like we do hope that, you know, over time that we don't have to have this such a high guard up when it comes to women. You know, we're trying to get back to a certain point. So, you know, yeah, I love your mom too. You know, we appreciate you for raising us to be good men. And, you know, I can honestly say that I've never raised my hand to a woman ever. And, you know, that's all thanks to stuff that I've seen in my life and how my mom has raised me. So
Thank you.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hey.
God bless, Scooby. You already know. You do. But yeah, thank you.
yeah, man. So again, so I think we're good now,
I should
right?
have started off with that. I forgot. Man, I'm done, bro.
Hey, man, you know, once you go live, man, all your thoughts and everything that you want to say, you know, definitely goes out the window. It's a lot harder than you think, man.
Yeah.
Like
you don't
getting
think
up
about
here,
this thing. And I wrote it down, bro. And I didn't like. Yeah, I'm done.
we try to be concise on our points and like really drive it home. But sometimes, you know, like especially when you start getting comments, like I know for a fact, like I gotta stop watching the comments, man. I get
See, we're kind of
sidetracked
doing
every
right now.
fucking
We're
time.
ranting, but look, it's really hard because I mean, you know, you got the camera on you. It's just a different feeling. And
But you know, people are still commenting
yeah,
too.
exactly,
So you know,
exactly.
naturally we want to respond and stuff like that too. So you guys think between. Wait, do you guys think the thinking between men changes with race? Huh.
honestly,
Hey, thank you.
in the United States, I don't think that it would change. But maybe in other countries, like, you know, different cultures, you know, they have different beliefs. Just like, I mean, Muslims could have like 15
I was just about to
wives,
say.
you know what I mean?
But I was also gonna say, you know, like the Muslim culture, like they absolutely like they don't put up with any type of shit from their women. Like if you look at their culture versus our culture, that's a big no-no. Yeah, like they're not like some cultures are not even allowed to show anything.
I guess it all depends on the culture and the place. I mean, we're like I said, we speak on general. Like
More so the place. I think.
we're we're in the United States. I mean, that's mostly where realistically we're gonna end up having to deal with these problems. But I honestly don't think it would change with race.
So I think it could change with race depending on where you're dating. But I mean, I'll say like this, like ladies, if you're dating a Muslim guy, understand that his culture is very strict, and his parents, especially if he's like second generation here or first generation here, his parents are not going to see you the way he sees you. So understand that he might put you in a predicament where he's like stringing you along, but eventually going to leave because he's going to choose his parents and his culture over you, unfortunately. So yeah, I think it just depends on the circumstance.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, guys, for the last time, we are out of here. Again, much love to everybody. Thank you guys so much for all the support you guys are giving us. It really means the fucking world to us. Please share, like it, subscribe, hit that bell if you guys have not done any of these things, because it really does help the algorithm. It helps us out in the long run. We are going to be back here next week, Friday, 7 o'clock, like we've been doing, as long as actually, you know what? Well, we'll figure that out, guys. I'll make sure that we put up schedules.
Give updates.
Yeah, we'll always try to make sure we update our socials. We always try to make sure we do it here on YouTube. If anything changes, we'll update it. We'll give you guys information, but we are trying to actively like make sure you guys know what's going on. We're still working on the special guest. You know, we want him in here, but again, he has to work. He is a cross-country mover, so he's always all over the place. And we'll eventually get there, guys. But until next time, it's your boy Chaos, your boy Lou. Signing out. Until next time, much love, guys. Peace.